What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Sideswipe the Boss, back at it again with another video, and I am here again with yet another tier list. So today I'm going to be stepping out of the Arrowverse and moving on to the DCEU characters. Now, if you notice that there are quite a few characters here, but there are way more characters that are actually in the DCEU, so I am only doing the main characters, like the main heroes, the main villains, and I'm doing a few side characters here and there. Like just a few, like maybe like 3 or 4 of them. But other than that, it's mainly just main characters and, main heroes and main villains. And before we get started, I'll just remind you guys that if you like this video, just hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds. And if you like this video and want to see more videos like it, subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this. So without further ado, let us begin with Captain Boomerang. He is a character in the Suicide Squad movie from 2016. And he was to me. Like, he wasn't bad. Like he was one of like the standout characters, but not in a good way. He was just kind of not bad, but not good either. So I'll put him in the C tier, but he's probably going to end up in the low C tier. Next up, we have Dr. Sivana. I think that's how you say it. He was the main villain of Shazam, and he was a pretty okay villain. I mean, he had a decent motivation, some decent powers. Even though the movie was kind of low budget, it was still pretty decent nonetheless. So I'll put him in the B tier. Next up, we have Alfred Pennyworth, and he's a pretty okay Alfred, not gonna lie. He's not the best Alfred for sure, but definitely not the worst I've seen. So I'll also put him in the C tier, but above Captain Boomerang. Next up, we have Diana Laurel Lance, the Black Canary from this DCEU universe. And she's pretty solid in the Birds of Prey movie. That's really all I can say about her. She's pretty solid. Not really bad, but not really amazing or anything. Just pretty good nonetheless. So I'll put her in the B tier, but she's probably going to end up in like the lower half of the B tier. Next up, we have Amanda Waller, and she's also pretty okay. I mean, she does play that no play, all work kind of role, so that was pretty decent. But she was a part of Suicide Squad, and she didn't really help it that much. So I'm going to have to put her in the C tier, but maybe in the middle, though. Next up, we have Superman, aka Clark Kent. And I actually like this Superman. I know there's a lot of debate about this Superman, but I actually like him. He's pretty good in the role. Henry Cavill is pretty good in the role. And yeah, he's pretty awesome. He actually kind of looks like Superman, to be honest, too. And Henry Cavill, that's natural buffness. So I'll put him in the A tier because I really do like him, actually. Not S tier material, but definitely A tier. Next up, we have Aquaman, aka Arthur Curry. And he was okay in Justice League, but he was great in his solo movie. I mean, a great main character to follow. Also a fun one as well. So I'll also put him in the A tier. Hey, A for Aquaman. What do you know? Next up, we have Cassandra Cain. And that was a disappointment. She was a disappointment. Definitely F tier. She was very disappointing. And if she does end up becoming Batgirl in the future, we're going to be in for a rocky ride. Next up, we have Batman, aka Bruce Wayne. And this Batman is okay. I mean, I really don't think superheroes are the right roles for Ben Affleck, to be honest. Just look at his role in Daredevil. But he was an okay Batman. He was less okay in Justice League, but he was pretty decent in Batman versus Superman. So I'm going to have to put him in the upper C tier. Next up, we have Martha Kent, and she's a pretty good character. She kind of brings that human side, the human element to Clark Kent whenever he needs it. She also gives good advice as well, and I liked it. And I liked her. So I'll put her in the B tier, maybe like the mid B tier. Next up, we have Huntress from the Birds of Prey movie. She was to me. I know people liked her in the movie, but she was just to me. I didn't really understand like why she needs to be there, other than because she's in the Birds of Prey in the comics. And I mean, she was okay, I guess, a little bit funny, but not really that great. So I'll put her at the bottom of the C tier. Next, we have Black Manta, and he's a pretty good villain for Aquaman. He's not the main villain, but he is a prominent enough character to put in the list. Yeah, he's a pretty good villain. I like his suit. It's very, very comic book accurate. And I do like his motivation when like his father dies. So I'm going to put him at the top of the B tier. Next up, we have Ocean Master. And Ocean Master is also a good main villain. He does also have a pretty great actually, comic book accurate suit as well. He has some pretty good fight scenes with Aquaman. Also some pretty good rivalry between the two brothers. So I'm going to also put him at the top of the B tier. Next up, we have Enchantress. And I really don't know why she was in Suicide Squad. She was a very bad villain. And I don't get her character at all. So F tier. Next up, we have Doomsday. And I know he technically wasn't really an actual like character of a say. Like he's just a one-dimensional monster of some sort. But I just decided to put him in the list just because he did pose a big threat to the heroes. And I mean, it was kind of disappointing. Doomsday's supposed to be like an awesome Superman villain, and he was just a one-off baby. So I'm going to have to put him in the D tier. Hey, D for Doomsday. Next up, we have Barry Allen, aka The Flash. And for me, Ezra Miller, he would be a better Wally West, to be honest. Because he doesn't really fit Barry Allen that well. But I did start appreciating him a little bit more when he made that cameo in Crisis on Infinite Earths on the CW. So that was a pretty cool cameo. I like that connection between Grant Gustin and Ezra Miller. So that made me appreciate the character a little bit more, and it got me a little bit more excited for his solo movie that's coming in like a year or two. But for me, I'll just put him in like the mid C tier for right now. Because honestly, I think he can get better. Next up, we have Black Mask. And he's a great main villain, man. Ewan McGregor, I think that's how you say it. He's a great villain. I don't even know what else to say. He's just a great main villain of the movie. So I'm going to have to put him in the A tier, but the low A tier. Next up, we have Stefan Wolf. And he's a bad main villain. He was really cheesy at times. And it was more like he was acting like he was on a stage or something. And it was stupid to me, to be honest. And he looked ridiculous too. So I'm about to put him also in the D tier along with Doomsday. Next up, we have Diablo. He was also in Suicide Squad. And he was very one-dimensional, to be honest. The only kind of character development that he did get was when he told that story about his family and stuff, how he burned his family on accident. And then he sacrificed himself, I guess. I guess that was pretty cool. But other than that, he was very one-dimensional. So I'm going to put him at the top of the D tier. Next up, we have Jared Leto as the Joker. And I don't know what he was doing, man. I don't know what kind of Joker he was doing. I don't know what comic book he tried acting off of, but it wasn't good at all. So I have to put them at the top of the F tier. Just the very bad Joker. Glad we're never seeing him again. Next up, we have Lois Lane, and she's a very, very, very controversial character for me. I know most people like her, but I don't. I don't know what it is. She gets herself into these situations that she has full 100% capability of not getting into. I don't understand why, and she's annoying to me. So I'll just put her at the bottom of the D tier, just for y'all. Okay, I won't put her in the F tier. Next up, we have Shazam, aka Billy Batson, and I'm gonna be including both the grown up and the child in this part. So for the adult version, Zachary Levi is amazing. He's so funny. He's able to pretend like he's a kid in a grown man's body. That's hilarious. His powers are cool as well. And he has a pretty good fight scene at the end with Dr. Sivana, so I like that. And Billy Batson is also good as well. He does learn that connection with family at the end, so that was pretty cool to see. So I'm gonna have to put him in the S tier. It's just a great casting for both sides. Next up, we have Lex Luthor in F tier. Just put him at the bottom of the F tier. Just why? Why? That's all I have to ask. Why? Next up, we have Deadshot, played by Will Smith, and he was actually pretty good. He was one of the standouts of Suicide Squad along with Harley Quinn. It was a pretty good character. I like that connection with his daughter. That was pretty cool. And it was awesome just seeing him, blast away. So I'm going to have to put him in the mid B tier. Next up, we have Jonathan Kent. And he's in here because he is important to Superman's story. And he was pretty good as well. I don't really think he's the best Jonathan Kent. I really like the Smallville Jonathan Kent. He was pretty good. But this Jonathan Kent, he serves his purpose nonetheless. So I'm going to put him at the bottom of the C tier, though. Because he does serve his purpose, but he's just okay. Next up, we have Cyborg. And he's kind of one-dimensional, too. I mean, I don't even like the connection with his father. Because it's really not there, if I'm being honest. And he's just bland, to be honest. If we would have got a movie before Justice League, probably would have been higher. But for me, I just put him at the top of the D tier. Next up, we have Diana Prince, aka Wonder Woman, and she's definitely S tier material. Also, a great casting for Wonder Woman, and just great overall. I don't know what else to say. Just great. Next up, we have Rick Flagg, who's also in Suicide Squad. He was an okay character. He wasn't really bad, but also not really good either. So I'm going to have to put him at I'll put him in the D tier, but after Cyborg. Next up, we have General Zod, and General Zod was a pretty good villain when he was there. I mean, has some good chemistry with Henry Cavill to make a good rivalry, so that was pretty cool. And he did have a decent motivation as well. So I'm going to put him in the B tier, but the mid B tier. Next up, we have Harley Quinn, and she was also the standout of Suicide Squad along with Deadshot. She was pretty good in the role. And Birds of Prey, I mean, she was actually not that bad, to be honest. I know she's kind of copying Deadpool a little bit with the whole breaking the fourth wall and stuff. But, I mean, she was pretty good nonetheless. So, I'll also put her in the B tier. But, I'll put her above. I'll put her the upper B tier. Next up, we have Freddy Freeman. He's a pretty significant side character in Shazam, and he's hilarious. I know he's the comic relief, but he does that role in perfection. He's hilarious, and he also provides like that emotional connection between him and Shazam. Well, Billy Batson, nonetheless. So I'm gonna put him at the bottom of the A tier though, because he's like one of the best characters in this universe. And finally, we have Mira, Aquaman's love interest in Aquaman, and she's also kind of bland, to be honest. I mean, that was kind of decent that she was like learning about the surface world, as they call it, but nonetheless, she was kind of bland. I did like her powers; those were pretty cool. So I'm gonna have to put her at the bottom of the B tier, though. And that's the list, everybody. F tier, we got Joker, Cassandra Cain, Enchantress, and Lex Luthor. D tier, we have Cyborg, Flagg, Diablo, Doomsday, Stefan Wolf, and Lois Lane. C tier, we have Batman, Alfred Pennyworth, The Flash, Amanda Waller, Captain Boomerang, Huntress, and Jonathan Kent. B tier, we have Ocean Master, Black Manta, Harley Quinn, Dr. Sivana, General Zod, Deadshot, Martha Kent, Black Canary, and Mira. A tier, we have Superman, Aquaman, Black Mask, and Freddy Freeman. And S tier, we have Shazam and Wonder Woman. So that's all for today, folks. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about my list. Do you like it? Would you change a few characters? Would you change all the characters? Just let me know that. And also let me know in the comments down below what tier list you guys want to see next. And if you do like this video, just hit that like button for me. And make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.